Hey folks, so this is Unpacking Journeys, and today I wanted to talk about my solo trip to Bir, Himachal Pradesh. Since this was my first solo trip, I had a lot of questions in my mind. Exactly like where would I stay, what will I do, and for how many days should I stay. So all of these questions I'm sure must also be in your mind if you are planning a solo trip, especially if you are a woman and you're traveling alone. So let me break it down for you. So honestly, if you're traveling for the first time, I would say that Himachal is a very safe space and a very safe trip that you can have. People are very nice and also very supportive. If you need any kind of help, they will be ready to help you. So in that ways, I actually didn't face any kind of an issue. So I'll break it down for you in 3-4 parts. First, I'll talk about where did I stay, and then what kind of cafes I tried, the things that I did, and then I will come to the overall budget in which I did my solo trip, and then I'll also talk about exactly the overall experience that I had. So let's get started. So in order to start my trip, I had decided to go by bus. So in Himachal, mostly sleeper buses are not available. So that's why I decided to take a normal AC seater bus. But I had taken a good one, which was Himsuta. And it traveled all the way from Chandigarh directly to Bir. I reached Bir around 7 o'clock in the morning. And from there, I directly took a cab, which took me to my first hostel, which was the Hostel Plus. So some tips over here for booking a hostel, which is it gets occupied very easily. Since I was traveling alone, I wanted to have an all girls dorm. So for that I had booked quite early. Otherwise you will get mixed dorms and everything. If you're comfortable with it, that is also fine. I reached Hostel Plus around just 7:30. It didn't take much time. I reached in the morning itself in the Hostel Plus, and honestly the view was so amazing. Plus क्योंकि morning थी तो बहुत ही fresh vibe था, and also not a lot of people were awake that time, so it was quite empty. So it felt like that you are only the one person over there, and slowly और लोग आते रहे. So the thing is, in hostel mostly the check-in happens around 12. So I had plenty of time with me because I had reached quite early. So I decided to have my breakfast first. And mostly in hostels I've seen that there is always an attached cafe or somewhere where you can eat. So similarly the thing happened over here also. So there was a cafe attached to the hostel as well. And I basically had the omelette or the fruits, chai, everything was available over there, so you can eat according to your liking. And yeah, I spent some good time having my chai, which is the routine. And then after some time I decided to explore the property, and a lot of things I also showed on my Instagram as well, so how the common area looked like. And if you also want to see how my Hostel Plus experience was there, I will also attach the link above so you can check out and see. So to give you some glance about the room was pretty amazing. I mean, it was like a semicircular kind of a room in which one part was completely filled with windows, and the windows had amazing view of Bir Valley. So it was quite beautiful. And all of the facilities were there inside. There were 4 dorm beds over there, and then the washrooms were outside, which were actually common for all the dorms, but there were a number of washrooms, so all of them were also separated. Like the toilets were separated, the washrooms were separated, the wash basins were separate, so you would have plenty of space for yourself. It's not like because it's a hostel, a lot of people will share it. So I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. It was very easy. So that was the complete vibe of this hostel. So mostly what happens is that since mine was, the first day was mostly like a vacation, I was working, and on the same time I was also, chilling with other solo travelers who had come there. So the vibe was something like that. For the first day I just stayed in my hostel and explored the property, did my work, and then just had a chill time. And in the evening I had my chai, and also this hostel had a dog which was very cute. So yeah, the vibe was very much amazing. I mean, I cannot describe it, so just do watch my vlog and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But there was one more thing as well, that so after sunset, so basically after my work was done, everything was done, I also decided to just capture a time lapse of the sunset view, because the Hostel Plus, where it's actually located, you get an amazing sunset view where paraglidings are happening and you can capture it along with the sunset. So I definitely wanted to capture that, and and that particular, and you can also see the time lapse. I've also shared that time lapse in my vlog as well, so do check that, and it was amazing. But for that we went to a different property which was just adjacent to the Hostel Plus, because the view was covered by that. So yeah, I was staying in this hostel only for a day. The idea was to explore more properties and more stays around the area, because why not? So also because I was traveling solo, it was much easier for me to change places according to me. So that is what happened. And the next day I kind of checked out on the second day and went to Ghost Stops, which was another hostel. So this particular hostel was much nearer to the bear market, the main bear city. So the vibe was very, very different from the Hostel Plus. So this time it was like that the crowd was also different in some way, because this was a more you can say a conventional hostel, which actually looked like a hostel. It's like a complete lane, and then there are rooms in each of those lanes. It was something like that. And yeah, it was like a proper building which is converted into a hostel kind of a thing. Everything was attached inside one room. So for 4 people there was one bathroom which was attached, and there were also 4 cupboards, so each for one person. Mostly what I had done was I kept my stuff mostly outside, because I had the luggage with me. I kept it locked the whole time, so that also kind of worked for me. But if you have a lot of things and a lot of luggage, you can just directly keep it in the locker, just lock it and go. After the check-in, I kind of joined another group of travelers. Again, they were like completely new group to me. We went to the Silver Linings Cafe, the cafe which I have also shown in my Instagram vlogs. So do check it out. It was very beautiful. I tried the mango pancakes, and I tried scrambled eggs as well. The scrambled eggs are very popular in bed, so do try that. And yeah, I had a coffee as well, and it was quite amazing. I think it was an Americano or something. So post my breakfast, the group that I had joined kind of wanted to also explore a new place that was a hidden offsite place. So I kind of tagged along with them and discovered a new place as well. So do check out my coming up vlog for this, and I will showcase what we kind of discovered here. So yeah, so for the 3rd day of Bear, I again changed my hostel. Now this time I kind of explored a completely new vibe of a new hostel, and it was a newly built hostel, so not a lot of people were there. This place was also much nearer to the Hostel Plus, and you had to go a little above Hostel Plus to experience this. So what it meant was that you could see even a better landscape from that particular hostel. So I was up for it. This day there was a lot of rains that happened in Bear, so I had to like wait for some time for the rains to settle in. Till then I had my Maggie and chai and enjoyed the vibe of the hostel. After it settled down, I decided to go out, and this time I did not take any cabs or anything, and I decided to just walk the way. And the idea was to go to the Bear landing site, which is even a more beautiful vibe. It's a completely something that actually people go for. Majorly people go for paragliding over there, but this was not my idea for this time. I didn't go and do paragliding, maybe for the next time, but this time I just wanted to soak in the Bear place that it is. So yes, I went. Basically I just traveled on foot and I'm just enjoying the nature, putting on some music and then just walking and exploring the city, what it is, with my camera. So that was the idea. So, coming to the list of the cafes that I tried, one I've already mentioned was the Silver Linings Cafe. This was a very beautiful cafe. If you're looking for a good pancakes and some really good desserts, you can definitely try this place. And another one that I tried was the June 16 Cafe. Now this cafe had a very beautiful vibe. It was mostly filled up and crowded. It's that kind of a cafe that was located in a primary location, and I tried chai over there and I also tried pasta, so it was good. You can also definitely try. And the third cafe that I tried was the Himalayan Pizza Cafe. So it was not a cafe as such, it was more like a restaurant. It was 2 stories, and majorly for pizzas and majorly for coffee. People were actually quite keen to try that place. It was really crowded, so most of the time when I went there in my second and third day, I majorly sat on the second floor, which was the top floor, from where you could actually see the complete Bear landing site. So it was quite beautiful that way. And yes, this place also played live music, so if you kind of want that kind of a vibe, you can definitely check this place. The fourth cafe that I tried was the Mafia Cafe. Now this was a complete random pick. I was just walking and then I kind of explored that, okay, let's go inside. Majorly I had went there for the view. I kind of chose a seat which was kind of this, which means that I had the whole landscape view to myself, and I kind of wanted to make a time lapse of the landscape. That was the reason I went there. But it turned out to be really amazing. The vibe was much like like a proper pub or bar vibe, but not the least. The main cafe that I tried was the Olive Kitchen, of course. Now this was the cafe which was attached to Zostel Plus, and this was the most delicious food that I have ate in Bear. I definitely would want you to go there and try the mango banoffee pie. It was amazing. Now coming to the budget part of the whole trip, so I had stayed for 3 days in 3 different hostels. So considering what the charges that I had to pay for a shared dorm, for Zostel Plus it was around 1,000. I kind of paid 1,200 at that time, because I think the season was such, and also if you're booking it in a peak season, the prices go way higher. So try to book it in the off seasons and you will get it for 1,000 per person. So that's how it was. So 1,000 was the most I paid for a dorm, and all the other hostels were cheaper than the Zostel Plus. So in that ways you can consider that I paid around 3,000 3,000 for the stay part of it. Now coming to the food, you can expect around 250 to 300 rupees per meal, since we'll be trying different cafes and trying different cuisines. So that is something that can be expected. And for the travel part of it, majorly because I travel by bus and inside Bir, if you can walk, it will be great. But if you still want to hire a cab or anything, anything from bus to any other location would take you around 100 to 150 rupees. So cabs are a bit costly, hence try to walk the way that you want, or either you can also hire a scooty or a bike. That is also an availability over there. So I think the charges for that would be around 500 per day or something like that. So you can hire a scooty as well. If you're traveling from Delhi to Bir, it will be way economical, and you can easily travel for 1,000 rupees per seat for a bus. So for me, for a 3-day solo trip, it costed me around 6,000 for the complete trip. Now there's another part to it, that if you also wanted to do paragliding and activities related to paragliding, then in that case you should also add some more money to it, like 3,000 bucks for a complete paragliding experience as well. Now coming to how my experience went for the overall Bir trip. So I would say that I'm glad that I started my solo trip experience with a place like Bir. I had definitely went without any expectations for the place. I knew that Bir was a very small place to try. There will be not much to explore, but definitely there was a lot of experience to be gained from this, more than exploring the places. Secondly, I also feel that being a travel vlogger, I was able to capture my essence of traveling alone and capturing my travel vlogs in a much better way, because everything was in my control. I was doing it on my own. And thirdly, I do feel that one perks of traveling solo is also that you get to meet a lot of new people and learn the stories of the people that you meet. So that was definitely a case here as well. Every time in every different hostel that I stayed in, I met a completely different groups, and it was great to meet all of them. And yeah, it was like a good amount of time that I spent by myself also, and as well as with other people. And when I wanted my solitude, I definitely went exploring places on my own, or just going to a cafe on my own. By the way, this was also something that I had never done, that just going to a cafe by myself, just having my coffee and just enjoying the landscape. So yeah, this was a good experience that way, and I think everyone should try this in their lifetime. So this was something. And fourthly, yes, if you are an adventure junkie, you would definitely love the paragliding experience. I just loved how the landings happened. I'm not much of an adventure person here. And another thing that I also realized is that when you're not expecting something, or some outcome from a particular thing, or you're not just coming with any expectations, I think your experience just becomes even much better, and you are able to appreciate the little things that you're gaining from that experience, and you are able to live in the moment. That is also what happened with me. And mostly it was like that I was so much in the moment that I was being very happy about everything that I was able to see, or feeling blessed to have this moment of traveling alone or something like that. So that was also one feeling that I really loved about traveling alone. So yeah, it's a good experience to have, and it's a must experience to have. So if you're looking for a place to start with, I can definitely recommend that Bir is one such place. So do travel and do comment on what your stories have been of your first solo traveler. And yeah, keep unpacking journeys and keep following my vlogs which will be upcoming for Bir. Thanks.